Ladies and gentlemen, guests and friends of ESMT, on behalf of the Foundation Board of Trustees, I welcome you to this 2022 Annual Forum, and I would like to extend a special welcome to all our panelists that have joined us today. I would like to start by sharing some good news. I can announce that Jörg Rocholl has accepted the offer to continue as president of ESMT for a term of another 5 years. This has been your baby for the last 15, and we're looking forward to working you for at least another 5. Under his governance, ESMT is also taking over leadership of the Global Network for Advanced Management, an international network of renowned business schools founded by Yale School of Management and led by them for the past 10 years. And I would like to thank Jörg Rocholl for his tireless dedication to ESMT and its successful growth. Today, this event is all about sustainable transformation. And how everyone can do their part. This topic was also discussed in Glasgow in November 2021 during the UN Climate Change Conference. Having attended, it was great to see, unlike maybe previous conferences, that participants did not primarily discuss the question of why we need to fight climate change. This time it was all about the how. How can we take action? How can we accelerate the path towards zero emission and CO2 neutrality? In the same spirit, the Future Institute for Sustainable Transformation was successfully launched by ESMT, Futury, and the Waterstiftung in Glasgow at COP26. Since then, the Future Institute has supported business and society in their transformation towards sustainability. What's more, the Deutsche Bank Professorship in Sustainable Finance and the Deutsche Post DHL Professorship in Sustainable Accounting have also been established. Thank you to Deutsche Bank and Deutsche Post for their very strong support. Evaluations of COP26 differ. Some say it was an important success, others say it was a disappointment. I think COP26 has once again shown that above all, what we need is more international collaboration, acceleration, and a very strong can-do attitude. That is why Mercedes-Benz, together with countries, regions, cities, and companies from around the globe, signed the declaration on accelerating the transition to 100% zero-emission cars and vans. It is a firm and clear commitment to making individual mobility emission-free by 2040 and work towards no later in 2035 in leading markets. At Mercedes-Benz, we're even going one step further. We are getting ready, preparing the company for going 100% electric by 2030, where the markets allow. I'm confident that this is the right thing to do for our planet, for our industry, and of course, for our company. Government, society, science, economy, we all need to contribute to make the sustainable transformation a success. From the point of view of the automotive industry, I will add that we are well in the midst of this process and we will accelerate it further. 3 fields of action are crucial for our industry to succeed in becoming more sustainable. And the first one is decarbonization. The switch to climate neutral technologies is now massively accelerating. This doesn't just affect the automotive industry, of course, but in our industry, it's especially dynamic. Technology is making tremendous progress. The case, and also the business case for this, is improving. And customers' demand is rapidly increasing. We're well beyond the early adopter stage. In other words, e-mobility is about to take off, especially if we're assuming its ramp-up follows the concept of an S-curve. We know it from nature, from medicine, and also from business. It describes how a product, a market, or a technology goes through a cycle of growth and maturity. In the beginning, growth is slow, as the wheels are just starting to turn. As more progress is made, growth accelerates rapidly, creating the upward slope that forms the middle part of the S. And eventually growth begins to plateau, which is the top part. I'm convinced in e-mobility we're coming closer and closer towards the steep upward slope. And this could happen in this decade, and in that case, we would witness exponential growth. That is why we at Mercedes-Benz will be ready to make a complete transition by the end of the decade. Where market conditions allow, we will then be ready to go 100% electric. And we're not talking about hybrids here, but pure electric cars. However, the transformation of the automotive industry concerns far more than the drivetrain. The sustainable transformation is greatly accelerated by another megatrend of our time, digitalization. That is my second point. Let me give you some examples from my industry. Distance alone is no longer the decisive factor in calculating ideal routes for vehicles. Digital systems can also take into account other factors, such as the battery's charge level, charging infrastructure, or real-time traffic situation. In doing so, digitalization makes traveling smarter, more efficient, and more relaxed. Digital systems ensure the car communicates with other cars and the infrastructure. That, for example, is a prerequisite for intelligent parking management. And it could save up to 900,000 metric tons of CO2 in German cities per year, improving traffic flows. And digitalization will also contribute to cars serving as flexible storage units for surplus wind and solar power in the future. Thanks to bidirectional charging cars, will no longer just draw electricity, but will also be capable of returning it to power grids. So on top of elevating product substance and customer experiences, digitalization offers great potential in the decarbonization of our industry and of the economy as a whole. We're not only digitalizing our products, but also our production. Franziska Giffey, Berlin's governing mayor, just mentioned it in her video message. We are digitally transforming our industrial production. The digital factory campus here at our Berlin plant will be the competence center for digitalizing our global production network. And we're doing it together with another partner here today, Siemens. Thank you for your very strong support. According to a study by Bitkom, accelerating the use of digital technologies in Germany alone could save up to 64 million tons of CO2 by 2030, about 17% of the total planned CO2 savings under the 2030 climate target. So if we want to push sustainable transformation to the next level, we need to do so with the digital transformation as well. One doesn't work without the other. But that's not all. It's not enough to just go digital and carbon neutral. For companies, it is especially important to put their values at the center of their own actions, which brings me to my third point. For us at Mercedes-Benz, environmental, social, and economic responsibility are inextricably bound together. Therefore, we have aligned our sustainable business strategy with the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. Specifically, that means we do not want to shift any problems to other parts of the world, such as in extraction of raw materials for our electric vehicles. For example, we only want to offer products that have been manufactured without human rights violations, and I'm convinced it's not only the right thing to do, it's also well worth doing. Investors, rating agencies, and customers cherish that approach. Their focus is more and more on the three letters, we know them, E, S, and G, environmental, social, and governance. These days, it's not only about achieving the greatest possible profit, it is equally important to also take into account accompanying circumstances of business decisions. The role of companies as social actors is becoming ever more important, and rightly so. Although this transformation is a great opportunity, it is of course also a great challenge, not only technologically, but financially. To be clear, to succeed, we must also achieve sustainable business results. So we'll have to get out of our comfort zones to find new ways to move forward. And we're seeking close alignment with our workforce on this path. In the end, it all comes down to the question, how do we remain fit for the future? In my opinion, providing answers to this question is the core of good leadership, be it in business or in politics. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important task of our generation lies ahead of us, the sustainable transformation to a carbon-neutral economy and society. To succeed in this process and to benefit from the opportunities ahead, we need optimistic, courageous, and visionary people. Because it is not those who can explain the status quo who change the world, nor is it those who say that it's not possible. The world is changed by those people who are keen on creating something new. People who develop a pioneering spirit and people who see opportunities. And I know for a fact that those kind of people study and work at ESMT. Here at Germany's leading business school, everyone shares this forward-thinking mindset, this can-do spirit. It is exactly this attitude in combination with entrepreneurial expertise that we need to translate innovation into benefits for society. That is why ESMT and their partners started the Life Science Entrepreneurship Academy. This academy was established to bridge the gap between entrepreneurial and educational excellence and to empower more scientists to become successful entrepreneurs. In that way, ESMT can make a significant contribution. Since its foundation, the business school has been a mediator between different perspectives. And this has always been the basic idea of the annual forum too. ESMT and Lars-Henrik Röller in particular will develop the current annual forum further to reflect the ever faster global changes that we are experiencing. I'm convinced together science, economy, society, and political decision makers can turn the current major challenges into major opportunities. And I'm sure today's keynotes and panels will give us some more new, exciting ideas of how to do so. Thank you very much.